Yo, how's it going, everybody? So, out here working the shop tonight, uh, making some improvements to my corn head. I will explain these bars here in a second, but that was a modification I made last year that bit me in the butt this year. So it took me a while to get this out of the chopper. It did not ruin any knives, but it moved a few of them, so I'm gonna have to go and reset a bunch of knives on the chopper tomorrow morning. So I had welded two of these 3/8 rod on this head last year. You can see where it tore out, and I had them welded on the back. You can see it, kind of see it tore out there. It was a quick fix, and it was kind of a temporary thing to see if it would actually work. And it did, and I never thought that those would have pulled out, so my own negligence, I started chopping this year, and one of them came loose and went into the chopper. So, tore the other one off, got that one unstuck, which I took the head off because it took a while. So, but I put the head in here and then made this improvement. So these are, they're like conduit. They're for a pop-up camper to hold the bed up, or the slide outs up, whatever you want to call them. So as you can see, I welded them around on three sides, and I might even drill that out and put a bolt through there just in case. And then on the top, obviously I welded them on the top, wrapped them all the way around, and welded them back here. So they better not come off and go into the chopper. But at least if these go into the chopper, they're a lot less material to break anything. And they shouldn't, because I have metal alert, but obviously the metal alert's not working. So I will explain why I put these on here. Some of you probably already know why I put them on here. So I've been having a hell of a problem with the corn going up, tipping, and instead of going in the chopper, it piles up in the head, and then it won't feed in, then it plugs up. I put these on here so when the corn goes in and tips and falls down, it falls in line with the row coming in, and the row pushes it in. Works awesome. The only problem I was having with the other 3/8 rod is it was such a small diameter that it would catch cobs every once in a while, and cobs would fall off on here. So I'm hoping this bigger diameter, because this is like at least an inch, hopefully that stops that. And then you can see I did move them in just a little bit too. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me, because it's going to be hard to move it now. Anyhow, so that did cure the problem, putting those rods on there. I should have welded them better. I should have came back and welded them around the top too, instead of just a couple heavy tacks on each side. But live and learn. So if anybody has a John Deere head and they're having the same issue and getting sick of getting out and unplugging the head all the time, this was the fix, and it's been working. If it didn't work, obviously I wouldn't have went through all this trouble to put these on here. So yeah, tomorrow morning I gotta get the chopper back up to the shop and straighten out those knives and get them reset to where they need to be. And they don't have too big of nicks in them, but I'll have to sharpen them all again. So, yep. I got 5 loads chopped today before that happened. So, anywho, that is the fix for that. Yeah, beautiful. And another update. And other things around the farm. The grain drill is in here. I replaced a lot of the discs I've replaced over the last couple years, but all the discs that haven't been replaced, I replaced them a couple weeks ago. So they're all within 1/8 of an inch of new. And then they all have the nicer bolts instead of the Allen head type bolts that they had before. And then these have the better dust covers. And in other news, the 763 blew up A lot of people on Instagram already know that. It's not really blown up. It drove itself in here, but the oil pump went out of it, and it started to smoke a little bit and started to knock a little bit. And I got it in here, so I'm gonna get the motor pulled out of this one of these days and get an oil pump put in it, put it back together, and hope that fixes it. And if that little knocking sound doesn't go away, I'm probably gonna end up pulling it back out and doing a rebuild on it. So I am dealing on another machine, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to fix this one. It might be a little while yet, we'll see. So all I'm gonna do is I'd like to get it in the shop, but I don't know how I'm gonna get it in there. I'd almost have to go in and take the chains off the front wheels and then hook onto that hitch in the back, lift up the back end, and try to push it in there. And that might be what I do. I am not for sure yet. But anyhow, I'm going to build a table that is flush with that bottom of that housing, so I can slide that engine out onto the table and then tip it over and pull it all apart, put the new oil pump in it, and put it back together. So like I say, it was just a slight little knock. It wasn't bad, and maybe the knock was all in my head too. But as soon as I saw the oil light come on, I was right out there, so I idled it way down and got it in here and shut it off. So that'll be a fix coming up here sooner or later. Hopefully my new machine is here sometime this coming week. It was here yesterday, and it worked for about 3 buckets of lime rock, and it was out of oil. Put 4 gallons of oil in it. I moved 1 more bucket and it was out of oil again. I called the dealer and they said they just put new drive motors in it and they think one of them was faulty, so they came to pick it up and they brought me a loaner. So I used that. I had 4 loads of rock, which you guys can't see nothing out here. Anyways, I've been getting all this cleaned up. Put 4 loads of rock where the cow lot used to be, and then over there. And I might get 3 or 4 more loads next week because it's not quite as high as I want. I'm trying to get it all built up so water runs away. So anyway, it's kind of dumb standing here talking because you can't see nothing anyways. So like I say, tomorrow morning I have to fix the chopper, put the corn head back on, and then get back to chopping. I'm gonna make 2 piles this year, 1 on the concrete for in the spring when it gets muddy. I don't have to play in the mud next year like I did this year. And then I'm going to make a second pile, a bigger pile, out on the edge of the field, I think, that I can feed up over the wintertime. So, anyhow, yeah, if anybody runs a John Deere and they have that issue with their chopper, find some conduit like that, put on there. That way when the corn falls, instead of falling in the center, it falls back in the row. Then the row pushes it in. Works awesome. So if I would have welded them down there, wasn't so bad. I think what happened is they let go up here because I was feeding it heavy. I think they popped out up here and then it bent down and popped them out down there. And of course I fed it right in. So my iron guard did not go off. Kind of irritating. Anyhow. But so there you go. That's a little update. I'm hoping to make some videos of chopping tomorrow, so I gotta get the chopper fixed in the morning. I gotta run to town and get some Earl because I see the 7400 is just a little low, and the 4020 has a few leaks, so he's always low. I gotta run and get some oil for them and then get back to chopping. So anyhow, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you on the next one.